Hello, everybody. I want to say hello. Hope everybody's blessed today, April 11th, 2022. Just heard about the firing of Coach Vogel of the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm going to actually play something for you guys right now. Let's turn the lights. Okay.
With that left foot sprain still up in the air, according to Steve Kerr, Nuggets meanwhile say it will be up to Jamal Murray to determine if he can return from a torn ACL, which he suffered a year ago tomorrow. Timberwolves have rewarded their head coach Chris Finch with a multi-year extension if he led that team to a 46-36 record, seventh best mark in franchise history. The Wolves, they hope the Clippers in the play-in game tomorrow. And the Kings, well, they're looking for their third coach in as many seasons, announcing that Alvin Gentry won't return. Gentry, he replaced Luke Walton as the interim coach in November. Sacramento went 30-52, missing the playoffs for the 16th straight year. Gentry could take a front office job with the team. And the Lakers made it official, firing Frank Vogel. The move comes a day after they wrapped up a 33-49 season, 18 months to the day after Vogel led them to their 17th NBA title. Here's Lakers GM Rob Pelinka.
Today's not going to be a day of finger pointing or unwinding all the specific reasons. We just felt organizationally at the highest level it was time for a new voice. And that's not to say anything against the incredible accomplishments that Frank Vogel's had. We just felt like it was time for a new leader. And that's why we made the decision.
I think it's unfortunate, to be honest, because I've never, and I was saying this, I never had an issue with any of my coaches before. I'm not sure what his issue was with me, or I'm not sure why, but I can't really give you an answer why we never really connected. From the get-go, was feeling like I was having to try to prove myself to him and my capabilities and what I've been able to do for this game. And it's unfortunate, but kind of out of my hands.
It was, of course, the Woj bomb that had Frank Vogel saying, "I haven't heard ish," stands to reason he has now. He joins us now as he's been all over this story with Ramona Shelburne. Woj, I know we just said the record. Obviously, the Lakers have underachieved. But what ultimately led to this decision?
Hey, Frank Vogel, knew he was in trouble in the offseason when he got just really a tepid one-year contract extension. And ultimately, he might have been moved out in the regular season had Jason Kidd remained as an assistant coach. He went out to Dallas as head coach. But just the underachieving nature of this team, 33 wins with the expectations they had, you're not going to keep your job with the Lakers in that scenario. I think Frank Vogel knew that, and obviously it was made official today.
So what's going to go into the Lakers' hiring process as they look for a new head coach now, Woj?
Listen, there are some positives for the Lakers in this process. There are virtually no teams in the marketplace for a head coach, only the Kings right now. That may be the case throughout the whole offseason. But the Lakers still have the allure of LA. They've got LeBron James, Anthony Davis. But there's a lot they have that they're going to have to address. They had two significant coaches turn them down in the last head coaching cycle, Monty Williams, Ty Lue. And this time for the Lakers, number one, the idea that they would use draft capital to go out and get a coach who's under contract elsewhere doesn't make much sense. They've only got 2 picks here. In the next several years, they can trade. They need to use that for their roster. I think the Lakers are going to be patient, see what other head coaches who are out there might become available, but they're going to have to look in the assistant coaching ranks too. Perhaps in Milwaukee, Darvin Ham, Charles Lee, and that Mike Budenholzer coaching tree. Do they find the Ime Udoka of this year's group? But they're going to have to be open-minded, about who's available to them and their willingness to give autonomy to a head coach. Frank Vogel did not have the autonomy that they're going to probably have to give to a higher-level head coach who maybe comes in with a little more negotiating stature than Vogel had when he took the job 3 years later. Frank Vogel won a championship, had a top 3 defense in 2 years. He's out in the 3rd year.
Yeah, because it's been years. So tell me this, how desirable is this job?
I wouldn't want a job unless I had sheer autonomy. Unless I knew coming in, hey, Rob Pelinka, you're going to move to the side. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And Stephen A. said it has to be a coach with cachet. I would tell Quinn Snyder. I would tell Nick Nurse. I would tell Juwan Howe. I'm like, leave it alone. Why would you want that? You're going to inherit that problem? Frank Vogel, who was a good defensive-minded coach, he couldn't fix that. Now you're telling me all of a sudden you're going to bring somebody. What's new about the situation? And my thing is, what say did Frank Vogel really have in any matters? Think about this. You have LeBron James, you have Jenny Buss and Kurt Rambis, and then on top of that, you have Rob Pelinka. Everybody is jockeying for power. Who was the person left out of the whole conversation? It's Frank Vogel, the person that was left to manage all the rumblings, all the pieces of it. So if you're a head coach, somebody's going to take the job because of the money, and they're the Lakers. But if you're a pristine head coach, I wouldn't be running to that job at all. I would stay far as hell away from it as I could.
Let me just go ahead, Perk.
Jay, I'm a double down on that. Look, when you talk about all the coaches that could possibly be available, that you possibly could get for this job, the only coach that comes to mind to come coach this team, if you're bringing back Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James, is Greg Popovich. That's the only coach I feel like could go in there and get this team under control. Why? Because of his resume, because of what Pop did for the league, because of what he has done in the NBA, things to that nature. So guys respect him. Guys have their respect that they're not going to disrespect Pop because he could challenge them in every aspect that they need to be challenged. But if I'm a coach and I'm out there and I already got a job, I'm definitely not entertaining this job. Now, if I'm looking for my first time to be a head coach, obviously, if you've been a long-time assistant, you got to take the opportunity. But if I'm already established, I'm not leaving what I got going to go coach the Lakers, especially with LeBron James going on 38 years of age.
First of all, there's a couple of things, KP, that I think you're missing here. Number one, you're right about the first time head coach and assistant who's starving to be a head coach. I get all of that. But it really ain't that complicated, KP and Jay. It ain't that complicated like KP just said in terms of, having a coach like Greg Popovich. You know what you really, really need? You really need a dude that will curse you the hell out. That will make the Rambuses of the world scared to be in a meeting with you. You need to be the kind of coach that says, get the hell out. I don't want you in here. You understand? To the point where Jeannie Buss is pulling them because she don't want the drama. See, sometimes you got to create hell to generate peace. You gotta do it. All right, you got to be that person.
Sounds like a personal motto.
You got to be that dude. You know what?
Am I right? Am I right?
Let me pause. You damn right.
Can I get an amen?
Can I get an amen? You damn right. I mean it. I'm gonna say it again. Sometimes you gotta create hell to generate peace. And I mean it from the bottom of my damn soul. The problem is, you in Tinseltown, it's LA, it's sunshine, and you're so appreciative of being there, and you're so desperate to hold on to it, and you don't want to leave, and you don't want to go anywhere. You tolerate stuff that you shouldn't be tolerating. When you sit up there and you let them know, don't play with me, you better get the hell up out of here. You could go into Jeannie Buss and tell her what you want to, but you ain't going to be in these damn meetings. You ain't going to be talking about who we should play. You ain't going to be telling me what team we should be.
Who is that?
I'm just saying,
Stephen A,
anybody
who is that dude?
Listen, Mark Jackson would do. Let me tell you something. Mark Jackson would. No. I'm just talking personality. Okay. I'm talking about, now he wouldn't cuss because he's advanced and he's more mature in his older age. And Mark Jackson doesn't do that anymore. But he would send the message. I'm talking about people I'm talking about people with those kinds of personalities. I got the job. Keep me or let me go. But what you not going to do is micromanage me, especially.
So, I don't know. So, you just saw a clip with Stephen A. You know what I'm saying? Very animated always. All the time. He's always animated about certain things. But, I got this other one, LeBron. Not going to talk. I'm not going to have too much of this.
I mean, it's human nature to automatically start thinking about the roster and what it could look like and how we could obviously have a roster that brings in more wins. I mean, that's the most important thing. That's the job that we're in. So I've started to think about it a little bit, but, it's not, solely on me, obviously. But we definitely want to be better. We want to be better coming into next year. That's the most important thing for the summer.
And just to follow up position-wise, you played some more center this year. You played point guard. Like, it is just for you. Is there an optimal there? Or is it being able to go back and forth to different positions depending on who's on the roster?
It doesn't matter for me personally. My personal goal is to be able to play any position on the floor. And every game is different. Matchups is different at times. So to be able to have the availability to our team that I could switch off and play center for minutes or play point guard for minutes or play the wing spot for minutes according to what the game dictates or needs. That's for me to make sure that I'm equipped. I'm in the best possible shape I can be in to help us win ball games.
Dave.
LeBron, in February, you told us you see yourself being with this franchise, and you're here. And this summer, you're going to be eligible for a contract extension. You intended to extend with the Lakers this summer, and what the determining factors that will go into that decision-making process?
Well, the conversation hasn't been talked about, or technically, because of the collective bargaining agreement, cannot even be discussed until later on in the year. So, I know it's out there, but we can't even, myself and Rich can't even begin to talk with Rob or the front office at all because of the collective bargaining agreement. So when we get to that point, we'll see.
Yeah.
LeBron, what did you envision what did you expect from the Russ partnership that did not materialize? Obviously inclusive of health, but then also, do you feel like that is something that you guys can do again? Like, can you, Russ and LeBron, be the centerpiece of this team next year and be a championship contender?
I don't put any expectations on anything. I mean, it's all about coming in, putting in the work, and go from there. I mean, one thing about Russ that I love and will always love is, just his competitive spirit, what he brings to the game every single night. And when you're in a profession where so many injuries happen and so many things go on, and to have a guy that's reliable and can put on a uniform every single night, that's something I respect out of everything. And I'm not going to sit here and make decisions for the front office and things of that nature, but I love being a teammate with Russ, and that's just the way it is.
So again, you heard LeBron speaking. You heard, as far as the situation goes, Frank Vogel's on. My question is, who's gonna replace him? As far as his coach. The coach, because again, 33-49, very bad season that they had. LeBron was. I believe he missed like 26 games, and AD missed a lot of games. So I think, what I mean? So again, I don't know. So But the good thing is my Celtics are in the playoffs. I think they're like the second seed. So, young Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, applaud those young brothers for doing what they did. So Boston's going to the playoffs. Thank God. Yes, you know what I mean. They were in the playoffs last year. You know what I mean. They did. I think they went deep last year too. I think they lost in the third round, but that's good. Not good, but would rather than be in the finals. But whatever. But again, LeBron, good player. You know what I'm saying? Russell Westbrook, good player. But here's the thing, I feel like, they didn't play no defense this year. You know what I mean? And again, Frank Vogel had no control of that team. Which I've heard so many people say in videos. He had no control of this team. You had old guys here in the 30s, you know what I'm saying, trying to play defense. They're not going to play no damn defense. LeBron don't play no damn defense. He plays it sometimes, you know what I mean? AD, when he's healthy, he plays defense sometimes. But again, this is a different league today, a different league where it's more about offense than defense. It's like, yeah, they play defense sometimes. That's fine, but, it's a different league today. And it's like, you're relying on someone that's almost 38 years old, LeBron, you know what I'm saying, to try to carry your team. And it's like he doesn't have too many more years left, you know what I'm saying. And I hope by next year, God willing, he breaks Kareem's record, you know what I'm saying, because I believe he needs like 1,400 and some 1,400 plus points, I believe, to pass him. He already passed Karl Malone, as I said, so he's the second leading scorer in NBA history, and Karl Malone's now third. So, but yeah, Lakers sucked this year. They played no defense at all. Just it's a different league today. You know what I mean? Because like I said, when I was watching basketball, a lot of defense, low scoring games. You know what I'm saying? Watch the Michael Jordans, Patrick Ewings, the Olajuwons, Charles Barkley's. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was just a different time. But, we'll see what happens. Honestly, if I was the coach or whoever future coach, I wouldn't want to coach this team because who knows what the fuck they're going to do as far as they're going to blow it up. I would try to trade everybody for young pieces and just reload everybody. And I don't care, you know what I mean? Try to get something for AD or LeBron or Russ if you can. Or, reload, keep the young guns, Austin Reeves, THT, you know what I'm saying, and other players, get rid of all these old players. If I could, just get rid of all of them, try to get young players. I don't care if I got to get them from the G League. I don't care, you know what I mean? Get the salary cap down, whatever. But that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to make a quick video today because I heard about firing Frank Vogel again. I just think I said he had no control of this team. You know what I mean? And it's like I blame the players. I blame, the front office. I blame Frank Vogel for not having control. This whole franchise this year was, fucked up. And again, they traded so many pieces to get AD. And it's like, to me, they shouldn't have. And they let, Alex Caruso go when he was a free agent last year. They didn't have room to sign him. They wanted DeMar DeRozan, but he never ended up going there. Now he's in Chicago. They're in the playoffs. They're going to be in the playoffs. He had a hell of a year, DeMar DeRozan, Chicago, just like I said, we'll see what happens in the playoffs this year, you know what I mean? And we'll see who's the last team standing. But feel free to check out my YouTube channel. Type in my name. It's Russell Mills, RussellMills, May 22nd, 2017. My first video was called Why Black People Settle for Less. Everybody take care. Peace.